Alright everyone, welcome back to my channel, Baseball Talk with Nick Morgan. So today, we're going to be talking about the New York Mets trading Wilmer to the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, quick side note here that I thought would be cool to tell you guys. Wilmer was actually acquired by the Mets via a trade with the Tampa Bay Rays, who are an AL East team. And now the Mets traded him to the Toronto Blue Jays, which is another AL East team, so he's back in that division. I just thought that's kind of cool that I'd share with you guys, and that you guys would be interested to know that. Maybe not, I could be wrong. But without further ado, we're going to get right into the video here, talking about Wilmer going to the Toronto Blue Jays from the New York Mets. So, the Mets originally acquired him, as I mentioned, via a trade with the Tampa Bay Rays. And in this trade, New York sent a prospect. That prospect was Neraldo Catalina. Now, since he's been traded to the Rays, Catalina has a 2.35 ERA in 4 games for the Rays' rookie-level Gulf Coast League affiliate. Now, I don't know his numbers prior to the trade, but I do know that in 4 games, which is a small sample size, I get that, he has a 2.35 ERA, which is not bad at all, much better than a lot of the bullpen guys for the Mets and the starting pitchers. So maybe the Mets at this point in time are like, well, maybe we should have kept him, but it's okay. So the Mets actually didn't receive anyone in this trade. This was simply them giving the Toronto Blue Jays Wilmer in exchange for cash considerations. So I don't know the exact amount of money that the Mets are going to be receiving, but we know the Mets and the Wilpons aren't known to always spend money. Most of the time they just kind of collect it, I guess, and save it. But this year's been a little different. They've acquired some bigger names. They're just looking for some superstars at this point, other than Jacob deGrom and Noah Syndergaard, which Syndergaard, by the way, could be on the chopping block. He might be someone who's traded before the July 31st deadline. I don't know how true that is or if I believe that or not, but that'd be interesting if it does happen. So, the New York Mets saw no need for Wilmer as Familia, Justin Wilson, and Luis Avilan all came off of the injured list. And most of the time, Font came into the game, he was used in long relief situations, but now you have 3 guys back and in the bullpen, ready to go. So really, there was no need for Font to begin with when these guys were healthy, but now that they're all back off their injury, they just decided to, hey, you know, it's done here. We're going to trade you over to the Jays. So last week, the Mets actually designated Font for assignment. So they had room on their roster for rookie Chris Mazza. And then, of course, last night or the other day, they actually traded Font to the Jays and it was official. So this wasn't really a surprise, I don't think. I did not notice that he was DFA'd, but they had to get rid of him. Either he didn't get traded and just was a free agent, or he got traded or the Mets brought him back. So, you know, it's just the Mets decided that was in their best interest to go ahead and get rid of him. In 2019, Wilmer has 25 games and a 2-2 record, but with those 25 games, it's a 5.20 ERA, 45 innings pitched, 42 strikeouts, and a 1.38 WHIP, which is not terrible. In his career, he has 52 games under his belt, a 4-5 record, a 6.00 ERA, 96 innings pitched, 82 strikeouts, and a 1.48 WHIP. Font was with the Mets for only 2.5 months, so pretty much this year only, and he was with the A's for less than a year. Font's not a bad player overall, though. He's only 29 miles per hour, 29 years old, but he can throw in the mid-90s with his fastball. And now we're seeing guys who usually are in like the 93 to 98 mile per hour range with fastballs or just other pitches as well. And that's kind of where baseball's evolved to. It's really faster pitching. So I think if he reestablishes himself, makes a better name for himself, and maybe just take some time to relax, maybe throw some better pitches, or just figure himself out a little bit more, he'll definitely be someone in the future that a lot of teams are interested in. But at the moment, I think most teams really have guys that are already in the long reliever role, or just they don't really need Font. The Blue Jays, though, they're rebuilding. They haven't figured themselves out yet. And with the very young team, I think Font definitely will fit in there. The Mets, you know, went from a team that have been pretty decent throughout the years to one that's kind of settled down a little bit. They know that they're not really making the postseason this year, and that the Blue Jays are kind of relaxed as well. They're not really going anywhere anytime soon. So Font has a couple years before maybe the Jays are a big team and before he's really needed in big situations. Not that the Jays aren't trying to win every game now, just that, you know, he has that time to just kind of reevaluate himself. And that's pretty much it for this video. And not a lot to it. I mean, Font got traded from the Mets to the Blue Jays for some cash, and that's really where it ends. So that's going to end this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe. We are currently on the road to 1,000 subs, so if your subscribe button down below is red, click that for me and join the community. I'd greatly appreciate it. We're hoping to get 1,000 subs by the end of 2019. If you haven't already, also go ahead, turn on your notifications. Tomorrow we are going to be talking about Terrence Gorey being traded to the Yankees, so you're not going to want to miss it. If you're going to be one of the first viewers, go ahead, turn on that notification button. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I will see you all next time. Peace.